Hello and welcome to the Lumbridge Knights inaugural Leagues series. This series will cover all my adventures in Leagues 3, the Shattered Relics, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So keep watching and don't touch that dial. Not that computers have dials. Okay, so we're going to get straight in. Now this is just after the tutorial video, which is really cool. I really like the sound. You can kind of hear I've ripped the track directly from OSRS. It's playing in the background there. It's a really cool song. And yeah, we're straight into the tutorial stuff, which you're going to see me like firing through. For those who aren't familiar, including myself at this point, this is my first league, so I'm not really 100% sure how everything works, but to give a brief overview, essentially all the relics from the last league have now been split into fragments, so you can kind of replicate similar effects from the last leagues if you are a veteran of those leagues, and you have to do that by assembling various fragments and unlocking certain fragments. Now the first big choice you're going to get is, do you choose Unwavering Warrior, Focused Ranger, or Masterful Wizard? This is basically which combat skill you unlock when you start the game. I'm kind of going down the route of Wizard. I was tempted by Warrior and I really wasn't tempted by Range. Basically, as someone who's like done a Hardcore Iron Man series, and I'm kind of still working on my Hardcore Iron Man, I know that low-level magic can get you through a hell of a lot of quests. There's quite a lot of safe spot in the early quests, and you can blitz through them just with a high magic level. Equally, runes are really expensive, generally speaking, so the fragment you unlock has a chance to save runes and magic weapon charges. So I'm kind of going down that and kind of, you can see it's a tough decision. I'm kind of flicking between two, but that was my logic for choosing magic. I really think it'll give me an edge in the quests. In the long term, that may not matter at all, because basically in leagues, all the XP is like double, triple, quadruple. Like you get a lot more EXP a lot faster, so you can level more skills very quick. However, here's the twist in the tale, that all the skills, apart from, I think it's the combat skill that you pick, so magic, attack, or range, plus thieving, fishing, and defense, everything else is locked, and you can see on the screen there right now the cost of unlocking. So each time you complete tasks, you unlock Sage Renown points, and you can use those Renown points to unlock the skills that we saw on the screen there. Equally, I don't know if I'm going to click through it on the screen there, because I can't remember if I did it when I was doing the video, but you can also unlock quest chains. So that's like the entire sort of like storyline of certain quests you can unlock with points. So you don't have to do the whole Dragon Slayer thing to unlock Dragonhide and Rune if you want to wear those things without having to do the quests, which obviously if you've got loads of spare points is advantageous. You also have to pay to unlock all the bosses, so that's what to think about in the end game, and drops wise and tasks wise, which bosses you want to unlock when, and how much of a priority they are for you. Also, you can see on the screen there, I'm going through my league fragments, and I'm equipping the Arcane Conduit, one of the first ones I've unlocked. I also unlocked Smooth Criminal, I believe, which increases my thieving chance by around 15% to start with. And yeah, that's kind of like me set and ready to go. There we go, there's the Smooth Criminal added there. And that ends the tutorial. Now, just for ending the tutorial and selecting those things, you already complete some tasks, like even completing the tutorial is a task. Now you can see there are literally hundreds of tasks to unlock, and the list is quite ridiculous. So one of the first things I did was I hunted down some goblins. This was quite difficult in that there's plenty of goblins around. It's just, this was day one, like 2 or 3 hours in, and boom. Achieve your first level up. That's a task in itself. But yeah, everyone was trying to kill goblins because it's a task. So yeah, kill a goblin, bury the bones, easy as pie. Now, I kind of missed out on quite a few easy tasks early days, because some of the first things I should have done. So yeah, there's my task complete for killing the goblin. There's some beehives right next to where the sage is in Catherby. If you go to the beehives and get stung, that's a task. If you go to the wheat field in Catherby, that's also a task. What I really struggled with was I don't really like the game interface for the tasks. It's as good as it's gonna be, but it's quite hard to plan what you're gonna do. So what I've done is I've found a spreadsheet online that someone made. I'm going to credit them in the description because I can't remember who it is off the top of my head while I'm recording, or I'll pop the name up on the screen right now, which I modified. And this means you can break things down by the skills you've unlocked, whether you've completed them or not, and it'll also give you the requirements and tell you sort of what extra additions, if anything, you need in terms of like items or skill levels or quests even. So yeah, that's really useful and I recommend you use that. What I'm kind of gonna maybe work on as well is like a prioritized list, so like an actual what you should do in order, because what you'll see by watching this video is that I was kind of a bit all over the place. Now here's one of my mistakes. Number one, I'm really devastated about doing this. I went round and activated all the waystones, so you can hear I moved straight over to Ardougne to activate the waystones. If you don't know what the waystones are, basically most of the big towns and cities now have a waystone, which if you activate gives you a free teleport between the waystones. Oh, here's another easy task. Just do the home teleport back to the Sage in Catherby. That's another easy task. It's also a really cool animation. I really quite like that a lot. Something you can get done straight off the bat. And there's the beehives I mentioned just on the left of the screen. So you can see I've moved on to thievery because there's a lot of easy tasks early on in the thievery skill. I don't know if it's coming across in the video, but at the start of this, I felt like I was kind of like a new member again. Because this is my first time doing League, it's just crazy how much stuff there is to do. As you've just seen there, there's a 5-point task for pickpocketing a man. And then on top of that, if you gather 28 coin purses, there's also a task for unlocking those, which you can see I've just done on the screen there. There's my first level 10. It's another task. You can see just by playing the game, you'll kind of get a lot of them. And some of them are so basic, you can kind of run around and get them quite easily. As I was saying earlier, is that it's really overwhelming if you've never done Leagues before. So I thoroughly recommend taking a little bit of time at the start to kind of like plan what you're going to do. All I did for day one was to kind of set myself, get rid of all the beginner tasks, try and just get rid of all of them and try and get through the tiers. So that's what you can see me kind of doing there. I'm trying to plan what stuff can I just do off my bat without much effort. So yeah, catching a shrimp. You start the game with a net, so very easy. And there's enough coins, if you lose one you could buy one, and there's also free spawns around the map. Yeah, so the logic here, in terms of getting a full inventory of shrimp and then cooking them all, even though I don't have cooking unlocked, so I can't get any experience at this point. Like, I was really cagey about which skills to unlock at first. I would say take your time, come up with a plan, and then just stick to it, and then it doesn't matter which skills you unlock. If that's part of your plan, I think there's more than enough points to unlock all the skills. But yeah, my logic here was to get a full inventory of cooked shrimp, because then I can head over the mountain between Catherby and Taverley. It's a multi-combat zone, and the wolves are fucking deadly when you've got 10 HP like I have, and like no armor and no defense. So I want a full inventory of food to get over there, because my number one mission was to unlock the waystones. As you'll see in later videos when I cover the content, it might not have been the best initial goal, because when I hit tier 4, I unlocked a fragment that allowed me to travel between the waystones using an amulet. So if you wait out for that in the later videos, that really kind of makes going around them to unlock them manually unnecessary. However, there's no guarantee that you will unlock that amulet at that particular time, and if you don't get the amulet, it can make things really restrictive. So it's really up to you. I kind of preferred it just to try and avoid some running. So even though tier 1 gives you infinite run, I felt like just unlocking it as soon as possible. So you can see there, I've got 10 Sage's Renown. So technically I can unlock a skill. I was tempted to unlock hit points, but then I saw that there's some achievements or there's some like League things for getting to 5th, 6th and 7th tier with 10 HP. And I may relent on this later, but I'm tempted to kind of like try and do that. So I decided to go for woodcutting and get that unlocked. There's method in my madness here, because even at this point, I was planning on going to Wintertodt to get some money, because early days, you need coins to play the game. So I kind of thought I may as well get some cash flow. And there's not many places better than Wintertodt early on to generate some easy money and obviously complete some tasks at the same time. So yeah, here's me on the mountain run with the wolves. It wasn't too bad except for this bit where I nearly died. Got it. Shrimp. I managed to just about in one piece get over at Taverley, and from there I obviously headed east and then south into Falador and opened the waystone there. I then headed east from Falador straight to Varrock, unlocked the waystone there, and then I headed south through the Alcarid Desert and unlocked the waystone there. I was just doing this early doors to try and make moving around as easy as possible. Now once I'm in Alcarid, there's a few things you can do here. You can see me going through the gate for 10 coins. That's a task, so it's worth doing. Equally, I should have killed an Alcarid guard at that point. It might have been difficult since I didn't have much combat, but I could maybe have safe spotted. But killing an Alcarid guard is also a task. And now I've headed west into Lumbridge and activated the Waystone Lumbridge. Now from here I decided to do X marks the spot. Because you get a beginner clue scroll as a reward, and that's a task, I just thought I may as well get the clue scroll early doors and try and get that beginner task out the way. Skip through the quest there, got to the end, and you'll see me get the reward. There we go. And the beginner clue scroll. And since I was there, I decided I may as well go to Curend because there is another Waystone in Curend. So I was really on a mad rush to try and get all the Waystones unlocked as possible so I could teleport around the map for free. Right, so I'm going to head west and into Curend Castle, basically, because that's where the Waystone is. There's quite a few tasks in Curend, obviously, as well. Just getting favour in all the houses, to be honest, is a task for each thing as well. So at this point, I really wasn't sure what skills I was going to invest in for the long term. Hence why I just stuck the XP lamp reward from X marks the spot into defence. And my rough plan was to unlock as many Waystones as I could at the start to make moving around easy, head to the Arceus library to max out my magic level, I'm talking like 60 plus to maybe even as high as 80 magic, and then head to Wintertodt to get some money and early supplies in. You can see on the screen there's the list of the current Waystones that I've unlocked, and my plan now was to just head back to Lumbridge and carry on ticking off those beginner tasks. Please like the video and support my content. Thank you, noble knight. Right, so to continue with my plan of attack, and also to get as many tasks done as possible, I decided to go to the Ham Lair, which is just to the west of Lumbridge. You have to picklock the door, which can be a bit of a pain in the neck when you're low level in thieving like I am. But obviously there you go, just pickpocketing a Ham member is a task, so that's an easy one. And then I kind of went through here leveling my thieving because you got decent thievery experience for doing the Ham members. It got me to level 20 I believe, which is another task. And I kept going with this while I was planning which tasks to do next. As I say, I was really doing a lot of this on the fly because I didn't have a lot of time to prep. I don't know if the tasks were released early or whether they came out after. I kind of feel like they came out after, so I didn't really put a lot of time and effort into my plan of attack, as in what tasks I should do and in what order. So this is definitely not the most efficient route what I've been doing so far. But let me assure you, there is a long-term method in my madness. Next, because I'd pickpocketed an axe, I just came outside and cut a log, and that got me another 5-point task completed, another beginner task ticked off. And then just for completion, you don't get any points for this, but I went to the tutorial guys and claimed my Iron Man armor, my trainee bow and arrows, the trainee sword and shield, just because it looks a bit cooler than the wooden one, and magic users can still benefit from using a shield. I also asked for runes to be added to my rune pouch, if and when I get a rune pouch, and arrows of the same type as I've got equipped to automatically be put back on a quiver. These are just little basic things that will save me some time later on, and since I was walking past, you may as well do it. So that's that. Then I headed to Diango in Draenor, and just thought I may as well, since I've got the coin, I may as well buy the Chronicle and the teleport cards, just in case a teleport to the Champions Guild is of any use to me at any point, which I think was quite useful for one of the quests. Oh, I've already used it anyway. I then just went and stuck some stuff back in the bank, and you may be wondering why I'm walking around with some raw meat. This is because obviously, since I decided now is the time I'm going to go train my magic, this is why I decided to level my magic combat, I decided to do the Witch's Potion quest first, just to give me a little bit of a head start in my magic, because the Arceus library works off of your current magic level, so the more magic experience you've got when you start handing in library books, the more XP you'll get off the bat. In leagues, it's not a huge difference because the XP is so generous, but what it should do, hopefully, if I do this quest, it should give me a little bit of a boost early on, so I won't have to hand in quite as many library books. Now, I bought myself a Wizard's Hat, just for the magic bonus, and an Eye of Newt, which is another ingredient for the Witch's Potion quest. Now once you arrive in Rimmington, speak to Hetty, start the Witch's Potion quest, and the only thing you're going to get that you can't prep in advance is you're going to have to kill a rat, which is in the room directly west of Hetty's house. Just kill a rat and get the tail. And you can see I've jumped to the end of the quest now, handed the ingredients in, drink from the potion, and that took me from magic level 7 all the way up to, when I click the X here, magic level 15. So it's not a massive jump, but it did get me my combat level to 10, which is another task, and it got my magic to 15, so that now when I go to the Arceus library and start training, it will have a little bit more XP per book. While I was heading to Kourend, I thought I may as well get the general task for banking at Land's End. That's what I've just done on the screen there. Then head back to Port Piscarelius and back to Hostidius Marketplace, where I stole some cakes. This was kind of prep for Wintertodt because I need some food. And then I headed up to the library and started handing in books. So handing one book in straight away is a task in itself. Handing in 10 books again is another easy task. And then also handing in 50 and 100 books are also tasks. Oh, and you can see I've just hit a total level 100 there. And my magic has just hit level 40. These are all tasks you can see, getting various amounts of points. And my plan at the moment is to stick in the Arceus library all the way up to level 75-ish. Why level 75? It's probably just because I thought it was a round number. Really what I was thinking here is that I'm not 100% sure where I'm going and what the best course of action is, but as I've picked magic, I will have to level magic. I know for a fact that the Arceus library is a very good place to level your magic, so I may as well stay here, still turn in tasks, get the combat levels, get the magic levels, get the Arceus Favour there to 100% like you saw, hand in the 100 books, and then see where I'm at. So you can see after 100 books, I was pretty much at level 60. Unfortunately, it really started to slow down. So I got a bit bored and decided to break things up and carry on with a few more beginner tasks. I decided to start with Rune Mysteries, as there's quite a few very easy to do tasks associated with the early rune crafting, and in particular, the Rune Mysteries quest. So I teleported back to Lumbridge, went to see Duke Horatio and started the quest. From the Wizard's Tower I went to Varrock and stole from a tea stall. That's another easy one, and I had the thievery level to do that, so indeed that there's nothing like a good cuppa. And as I was already in the Varrock area, I decided this was a good opportunity to go to the Ferox Enclave. I'd sort of put it off just because it was in the wilderness, not that that would matter in leagues, because obviously everyone's in the same boat, so there's not much to be gained from PKing other people. I'm not even sure it's a task if you kill someone, I don't think it is. So anyway, headed into the wilderness. The Ferox Enclave has quite a few tasks, a lot of which I kind of teleported back later, because all I did at the moment was go in just to get the Visit the Enclave task in the beginner diary type thing. And then I teleported straight back to Lumbridge to go to the Wizard's Tower and conclude the quest. But just if you're following along and you want to do it, obviously, activate the Enclave Waystone. Why the hell not? There's the Visit the Enclave task appeared on the screen there. So yeah, activate the Waystone. The pub right there next to me, you can buy a pint for 2 coins, and also visit Death. Those are very easy tasks which take the whole of another 2 seconds of your time. But obviously you can see I've missed them at that point. I will, however, come back in later videos to get that sorted. Now I'm here back with Cedridor, completing the Rune Mysteries quest, and obviously getting another one by just getting him to teleport you into the Rune Essence Mine for another easy 5-pointer. Here's another one that I missed, light some logs. So I was just passing the bank, noticed that I hadn't lit any logs apparently. Boom, burn some normal logs, 5 points earned. From here, I really was trying to clean up the rest of the beginner level tasks. So mine some copper ore, that was one, and smelt a bronze bar. So I also mined a piece of tin, just one of each, because I haven't unlocked mine at this point, so I'm not getting any experience. I didn't want to go crazy because I'm not getting anything for it. But yeah, at this point, I unlocked tier 3, and congratulations, I unlocked the Slay and Pray fragment. Ooh, fancy. So I had 30 points at this point, And this is where I got a little bit confused and was trying to equip the fragment that I just unlocked. So, you know, FYI, word to the wise, state the obvious, because I kept doing this for so long. You have to be in a bank or at the stage in order to change your fragments. You can't just do it on the fly. There's obvious reason why you can't do that, but at the same time, incredibly annoying when you want to change. So since I was already in Lumbridge and several of the early tasks were things that you just do for the cook's assistant and the sheep shearer quest, I decided to get those out of the way. So I made some flour, you can see there, that's a task. I sheared some wool, not enough for all 20 sheep, but I just came back to Lumbridge, as you can see, and spun one ball. I took the XP hit, it's only one ball of wool. I hadn't unlocked crafting at this point, and I grabbed an egg while I was there. I also obviously forgot to get the bucket of milk. I don't know what I was doing or why I managed to miss the bucket of milk, so I banked half the ingredients for Cook's Assistant, but not all of them for some bizarre reason. I guess I was just kind of panicking and just like trying to do as much stuff as I could in the first 24 hours of leagues and just not really, you know, maybe it was like a case of I needed less haste, more speed. Anyway, then I came over to Karamja and Brimhaven and obviously unlocked the waypoint there, because that's my favorite thing in the world, waypoints. Not actually getting points, just getting waypoints. That's what this guide's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Waystones. And I can't even get the names right because it's waystones and I keep calling them waypoints. But you get what I mean. I really liked getting the waystones unlocked. I mean, you know, come on, in the normal world of RuneScape, free teleports to main cities it's a pretty sexy thing, isn't it, to be fair? So is it any wonder I was a bit excited? Anyhow, while you're on Karamja, there are multiple tasks again, and one of the easiest ones, and totally harks back to free-to-play, the glory days, get 10 bananas in the crate. So head over to the banana plantation, pick yourself 10 bananas, head over to the crate, and fill the crate with the bananas. It's that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Also, you will see in later videos, I could have done some fishing at this point and paid some money to open up one of the dungeons, and simply stepping foot and fishing a certain type of fish would have unlocked me some easy league points. But I didn't. But yeah, it's no big deal because, as I said, later on, I managed to get lucky and get a fragment that makes traveling around very fast and efficient. So the fact that I missed out a lot of these things doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't really matter what order you do in it. And to be honest, this is, like, I'm getting towards the end of this first update. But what I'm hoping for and what I'm aiming for is to aim for a marathon and not a sprint. There's obviously a lot of players out there who are like, you know, like 4 or 5 days in. They're obviously kind of like smashing it. They're tiers ahead of me. But my whole point is, in why I'm being careful, why I'm not doing quests and why I'm not hitting skilling really hard or trying to, is because when you hit tier 5, you unlock 12 times XP. Like, you know, even between 8 and 12, that's a massive difference. And that just means that your average quest reward is going to be insane. So I really want to prep myself to just go on an absolute spree once I hit tier 5. Like, tier 5 should see my total level explode. But until then, I think I'm going to be like mid to low down in the leagues. And, you know, hopefully explode out once I hit tier 5. So anyway, one last task before we draw this video to a close is to pet the dog in Varrock. So pet the stray dog in Varrock, if you can find him, that is, because the one and only time you're looking for him, he's rock hard to find. Who's a good doggy? And boom, that draws this first video to a close. So peace out, guys. Look out for the next video, which will be landing imminently.